Hello, everyone, and welcome to Astrognostics, where we embrace the love baby created by astrology and Gnosticism, which is a love baby of illumined self discovery. So, if it's your first time joining me, welcome. We have many other videos on the channel talking about the different signs and planets, but today I want to focus on the Gnostic approach to Leo, the sign of Leo. And we will talk a little bit about the sun as well, which is the ruler of Leo. And so, just to give whoever's watching a quick information about Astrognostix, how it's different. It's obviously very different from regular astrology in that it incorporates Gnosticism, which the Gnostic approach is that of a direct revelation of truth or the spiritual mysteries. So, Astrognostix is a way to merge astrology with the spiritual path of awakening through direct experiential knowledge and truth. So that's why I brought these two together. And there is a little branch of astrology called Gnostic astrology. So, of course, Astrognostix would fit into that branch. But today I want to talk to you about Leo. And of course, as many of you know, it's represented by the lion. So the body parts, which astrology does talk about the body parts, is the heart and the spine. And the lion is, Gnosticism does have a lot to do with symbolism, and of course, so does astrology. And the lion is obviously the symbol of courage, bravery, strength, inner inner divine authority that can shine its light on all, can rule over its kingdom as a king or queen, and it really is that kind of sunny, loving, but authoritative figure and energy is the lion. It's obviously revered for its grandeur, as I said, the courage, its strength, and of course its beauty. The lion is correlated to Braveheart or Boldheart. And of course, the Leo is connected to the sun of the heart, and it's all connected. And of course, the Leo energy transmits its force and its power through this center. So through the heart center, through the heart chakra, through the spine and the heart. And I'm going to bring in a little bit deeper ways to approach Leo. It's actually a sign of electricity because the sun is electric. And everything in our reality is ruled by the principles of electromagnetism. So things are either magnetic or they're electric or they're both electromagnetic, a combination. And the sun is a masculine, yang, active force, and so it's very much electric. It's an electric energy. So this is good to keep in mind for Gnosis, because if you want to really, Astrognostix here is about embodying the astrological archetypes to make both our inner world and our external world more rich and profound with meaning and clarity and understanding and love and joy. So if we want to connect to this energy, it's our heart energy and it's our electric energy that keeps our blood pumping. But more than just physical, it's the energy of our essence radiating out. So I want you to start thinking about Leo and the sun in that capacity, is that it is our truest essence. And to just give you a little bit about the sun for Gnostic astrology and how Astrognostix views it, it symbolizes a star matter out of which we are formed and through which we reconstitute ourselves daily so as to assume the famous Gnostic robe of light. And what is the robe of light? It is our light body. So really our light body and our fifth dimensional vehicle for the ascension comes from the essence of our heart. It's our core self, our essence, our life path, our heart, our love. The love within us is what creates this body of light. And of course, the star matter that we are made up of. So all of this is central to Leo and its symbolism and significance in our lives. I'd also like to touch here on the hero's journey. So Joseph Campbell, I'm not sure how you say it. I know there's many ways, but he was really big into mythology, and he specifically talked and wrote a lot about the hero's journey. And for me, there's no better symbol or expression of the hero's journey than the sign of Leo and the planet, or I guess you would say star, our star, the sun. Because they are the essence. It is the light. It is, all of us have intrinsically in our created nature the desire to shine our light, to spread our light, to illuminate ourselves, to illuminate others, to illuminate the world. That is such a huge part of our purpose, is to come out of darkness or to shine light on darkness through our own love and courage and willingness to be our best selves and to be true to ourselves and to discover what's within us, to get past the fear that there's anything negative and that all the negative, understand that negative is just the fear of our light. And I think it was Martin Luther King that said, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, it is that we are powerful beyond measure. Again, this is all Leo. This is all Leo symbolism. And the Gnostic approach to Leo is that we have the ability to activate our own inner hero, our own inner spiritual warrior, our own inner lion or lioness, if you will, and to walk this earth with a sense of dignity, a sense of grace, a sense of charismatic, regal, and noble presence that echoes into the ethers and that allows us to rise up in the face of any challenges and greet each day, each person, each experience with a grateful, generous heart. And that is what this energy is about. So, again, it transmits force and power, and esoterically speaking, the heart influence is called the atom nous. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize. Nous. I could be wrong on the pronunciation, but it's spelled ATOMNOUS, atom nous. And it is the exponent of the Christ, the master architect, the vital intelligence. So, for those of you who are deep on this path, you'll know exactly what I'm saying here. For those who aren't, or who are just waking up, welcome. Whatever level you're at, it doesn't matter. I believe everybody can get something from what I am saying. But those who are on the path and have some familiarity with this landscape, these metaphors that I'm giving, will know that there's a few ways to say this, but the Christ is very much intricately connected with the sun. The Christ energy, and I don't mean necessarily Jesus, though he is a part of that, and I'll get into that another time, but the Christ consciousness energy, the Christ, which is the unconditional seed of love and unconditional perfection and glory and mastery, which is within us all, is directly linked to our sun. That is why the sun is the central figure of the astrological zodiac. The sun is our sun, and the sign it's in and the house it's in and the aspects it's making is central to our path because of the connection with the Christ. Now, many people get confused saying, wasn't Jesus' birthday on Christmas? What doesn't make him Capricorn? And then there's all the Pisces symbolism because of the fish and the salvation and the victim and the martyr and the savior energy, the spiritual realm. And then, here's the thing about the Christ, and this can be a whole other video, which I will do, but the Christ energy is actually every astrological archetype. Let that sink in. The Christ is even in the goddess energy, the Venus energy. It is the Mars energy. Notice how when you look at Jesus' life, for example, of the Christ energy, that he did express the Mars energy when he overturned the tables and he started to yell at people and have his warrior spirit come up, because it was a just, righteous anger that he was feeling and that he needed to express. And so all of the signs of the zodiac, the Christ is connected to all of them, and beyond and within all of them. But there are, in my opinion, this might just be my opinion, but certain ones that resonate more to the Christ than others. And I mean, they're all very close, but in my opinion, Leo and the sun is very integral, because the hero's journey really conjures up images and feelings of Christhood and of achieving the highest level of attainment, spiritual or physical or experiential attainment that we're capable of in this lifetime. So, so I would just go on to say that this is a big part of all of our purpose, and we all have a way to experience it in different ways, but this is my perspective of both the Christ energy and Leo and the sun in terms of a wider Gnostic perspective. So learning to be conscious of the breath and all the functions of the body is an incipient level of self-awareness. Samadhi, if you've heard of that, is ecstasy. It's the experience of consciousness that is free of the ego, and it is bliss. In Samadhi, we reach comprehension. And how to do this? Our I, as in the I that we know ourselves to be, needs to be abandoned. And this takes courage and strength. This is the strength of Leo. So I guess the best way I can describe Astrognostix and my approach to Gnostic astrology in this way is that I see all of these vehicles of astrology as tools or as vehicles for our spiritual growth and attainment. So a lot of people will equate Leo and the sun to ego, to pride, to arrogance. And that is it's a fundamentally low level. A lot of people are still on that level, and that's okay. They're still developing an ego, working with ego, understanding it, and that is part of the path. But once we awaken to the greater truth of who we are and what we're here for, it's very natural to wake up out of that and to realize that those old ways of looking at astrology, of looking at the world, no longer serve us. We no longer want to live in this world as a fear-based survival entity that is competing with others for resources and trying to, boast our sense of, like, that's not why we're here, and that's not why we want to be here, because we understand there's a deeper purpose and reason for our life, a very, very big purpose that we probably don't have all the answers to, but we know it's there because it won't leave us alone. It haunts us. This is the hero's journey. This is the Leo that I'm talking about. So when I talk about samadhi and losing the self and reaching ultimate comprehension, you might be like, well, that sounds more like Pisces or Aquarius or Capricorn, like one of the later signs that, like, you transcend the ego and then in traditional astrology, yes. But that's why I felt the need to develop this, because I really feel that every single sign is so valuable. It's like all the parts of our body. Like, you're not gonna, if your goal is spiritual attainment, okay, you're not going to just use the spiritual for that goal. Every great master, every great meditator, every person who has reached a level of spiritual maturity has said that it is infiltrated into every aspect of your life. So while you're doing the dishes, while you're stroking your cat or playing with your dog or talking to a family member or a friend or out in the world shopping, everything is connected. And every opportunity in life, every experience we have is an opportunity to bring forth that presence, to bring forth our spiritual awareness and to learn the lessons that we're here to learn, so to grow and develop as a soul and a spirit on this earth plane. So with that being said, yeah, there is an I that needs to be abandoned. And maybe in traditional astrology, you're used to hearing about, oh, Leo being, the ego and, showing off. But that's not how I'm approaching it here. So if that's how you want to approach it, maybe this isn't the video for you. But if you are really looking for more meaning, more substance, more spiritual truth, and to embody that as much as you can in this life, then yeah, Leo is, the sun is our heart and our essence, and everything I've talked about today is a vehicle for the abandonment of the self. And it almost sounds like a contradiction because, oh, if it is the self, but it's not in this sense, because, okay, your heart is a huge part of you, but it's not all of you, right? You still have your mind, you still have your body, you still have your spirit, a soul. You still have so many different things that, frankly, many of us don't know we have, but your heart is a big part of you, but it's not all of you. So, with that being said, it is necessary to have a bit of surrender, which, it is that biggest act of courage, because a lot of us do have attachment to our identity, to who we say we are, our self-image, who we're presenting ourselves to be. There is an attachment there. So yeah, there is strength and courage and dedication and a lot of love that's needed for this path. And that's, I think, where you find it there in this sign and in these energies. So the strength is the root of Leo. And of course, we also need prayer. And in addition, we need meditation, and we need to purify the heart. I've always said, or I've heard this and I've said it, that meditation is listening to God or source, and prayer is speaking to God or source. So you do need both. They're two sides of the same coin. And when I say prayer, I just want to go quickly into this, that there's so many different ways to pray, but it's just a conversation. It's just you speaking to that part of yourself, which is source, which is beyond what you yourself are capable of at this focused, specialized moment in time. And it is the greater part of you, and it's a conversation with that part of you, okay? When I say meditation, it is a deep, deep, deep listening. It's a deep, deep, deep awareness. It's a subtlety. It's a clarity of mind, so that you can become so open, so still, that you can receive the impressions from. It's very subtle, and it's all for a purpose to be that way. So it's not super easy, like God or source, whatever you call it, goddess, is not yelling in our face like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's a subtle whisper. And the whole practice is to get more and more comfortable being quiet and being able to subtly tune to those frequencies, so we can hear and we can have inner answers and inner guidance, so we know what to do in each and every moment. So the last thing I'll say is that the root of the change, which I was saying, purifying the heart, that's what this is about. If there's one thing you can take from this video, take the idea that Leo and the sun is about the heart, is about our essence, our true core self, our authentic self, expressing itself in this world. And that the biggest gift that the Gnostic approach to these energies can give us is the desire to purify our heart. How do we do that? By purifying our motives, our motivations. We have to constantly examine and ask, what are my motivations? Am I still acting out of selfish, narrow, limited, scarcity-based worldview? Am I still trying to survive? Or have I awakened to the truth and the reality that life is eternal, it is infinite, it is abundant, we're always provided with everything we need. Our purpose is to serve others, is to serve ourselves, is to be shepherds and stewards of our planet, and to protect our planet and all of the beings on it, and to live in a state of harmonious grace. You see how different these two are? Yeah. So purifying your heart is your motivations, your intentions, because, we know deep down whether our intentions are pure. And it's not like you shouldn't beat yourself up in judgment if you have an impure thought or an impure intention or motivation. You should examine that and wonder, be curious, like, where does that come from? Where is that stemming from? Oh, that's a fear I had when I was 7 that I never let go. Oh, that's related to this trauma. Oh, this. So you can connect things and you can understand, like, there's parts of you that still need to heal. And healing is a whole other thing I'm going to get to with Astrognostix in Aquarius when I get to that, which is the opposite sign of Leo. But suffice it to say, the root change, which is the purification of the heart, looking into our emotions, looking into our heart, being honest with ourselves, is what will command our energies. And when we do that honestly, and when we work towards keeping an open heart, loving ourselves, loving others, being kind, being generous, and constantly awakening to our truth and expressing it in the world, that is when we will bring this Leo, lion, and beautiful sun, loving heart energy to its fullest expression in this world. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's my honor to serve you today. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I have many more to come. Have a wonderful day.